What's going on, everybody? Hope you are doing fantastic out there. So today we have got another knife without a box. This one from Kansept instead of from Kaiser. So what's special about this knife? So this was actually a win from Facebook, I want to say. Facebook or Instagram, one of the two. I cannot remember. But also, this knife is yet to be released. So this is the latest and greatest version of the Kansept Model 6. I'll go ahead and put all the information out right now. So if that's all you came here for, that's all you got to wait for. These are going to be they're looking at possibly a November release. So there's nothing set in stone yet on this. It wasn't sent to me for content. This was, like I said, it was a giveaway win. So it was really cool to win that. And then, I got to choose what color I want. Of course, I chose blue and black. But the knife, you're looking at a 3.1 inch blade, 7.5 inches overall. It does use 12C 28N versus the normal steel on the Model 6, which I think was Nitro V. I can't remember. I'll put it up right here. But it does not use the normal steel for the Model 6. Instead, it uses the 12C 28N. Again, absolutely nothing wrong with that steel. It is a great budget steel. The standard Model 6 is in that $75-ish price range. I would assume this one will come in either there or slightly less because of the blade steel. Now, you do get a difference in crossbar lock versus liner lock, so on and so forth. So that's why the price may stay right there at that $75 price range. Either way it goes, I'm sure you'll be able to find them on sale and cheaper prices through other distributors, but that is pricing and stuff straight from their website. Now, as per usual, let's zoom right on in, take a look at this knife right close up. So you have some really interesting textured G10, almost like a soccer ball pattern kind of stuff here, like a small soccer ball pattern. Anyway, really good texturing. I actually really like this. Very sterile on the back. You do have this really cool blue backspacer with a very, very generous lanyard hole. You do have a non-inset reversible pocket clip. Now you do have the shiny pocket clip. I'm assuming this because this excuse me, because I believe this is some sort of a pre-production model or something along those lines. I'm assuming the pocket clip that it ships with will be black. I don't know for sure. That is one thing I would definitely change because we're looking at a blacked out blade. Blacked out everything except for the thumb discs. I guess maybe that's why they're doing it, is they kind of tie in everything, tying the thumb ramp or whatever you want to call that with the crossbar and the pocket clip. So, but that I would change all that. I'd maybe make that blue, black those out. Anyway, typical pocket clip, folded steel pocket clip. It works really well. This knife carries very well. There's absolutely no issues there. And then, like I said, you got the thumb ledge, thumb disc, whatever you want to call it there. These work really well as well. And then you can see you got the swan design. So you got the swan swimming on the lake there, and then Model 6. Go ahead and take a look at the blade here. So you got a sheep's foot blade, 3/4 inch flat or 3/4 height flat grind, Kansept logo here with the model number. And then on the back side, again, we've already seen the Model 6 and the Swans logo. Pretty decent sharpening tool. It's so long, so you'll be able to... The plunge grind doesn't end until, like, literally right here. But because it's so steep, it's not going to be that big of a... Not going to be that much of a smile. So you'll still be able to sharpen it, a pretty good bit without having to worry about getting that smile. I thought as much as I carried this thing, you'd think it wouldn't have any of those oils still on it. There we go. Much better. Really nice, consistent edge grind, as per usual with Kansept. They do some fantastic stuff. Really straight edge. Great stuff all together. This is a knife I've liked from its inception. I really like the blade hole version. There's some premium models. The liner lock version is really nice. Like I said, you guys know I'm a sucker for a blade hole. But like I said, this is their newest rendition with the crossbar lock and the thumb ramp or whatever you want to call it. just a really cool and really interesting blade. It's hard to argue with a sheep's foot blade shape. These thumb whatevers work really well. The crossbar lock is good. It's taken me a while to get used to the release point without getting it to be bounce out. But it reverse flicks really well. I do say that the crossbar lock is a little on the light side, but you can actually adjust it on this knife. Let's see what that looks like. Let's just play. Let's play for a minute, shall we? I haven't actually taken this thing apart. But yeah, like I said, the bar lock is a little on the light side, so I would say this will correct that if it's depending on where it's at in the space. So it is adjustable, which is a good thing. But like we've discussed on a couple of other videos, perhaps, where it's if you are doing the geometry on the lock face, if you do that correctly. Oh shit! Hold on a minute. Oh, why Kansept does that? All right, let me put this thing back together. The screw's on the other side. So anyway, if you do the geometry or do a good job on the geometry on the lock face, then you don't have to have a heavy spring to get a desirable action on a crossbar lock. Like, perfect example is the Kershaw Bel Air that I did a video on that may or may not be posting before this one, but it has a phenomenal crossbar lock action, and the spring is very light. Like I would have expected, feeling how light that spring was, I would have expected it to be a much worse action than it had, but it wasn't. It ended up being a really phenomenal action on that crossbar lock. So get these screws out of here. Doop-doo. And then now I can actually take this screw out. Yeah, I was unscrewing the actual pivot from the rest of the knife previously. Okay, so yeah, so it is an adjustable system, just like some of the others that we've seen before. So it's on its weakest setting, so I am going to crank that mofo up. Let's see. Where do I want to go? Do I want to go? Oh, come on, hand work. I think I'm going to go into the second setting. Okay. We'll leave the pivot out and put these screws back in. I should not have put all those other screws back into it. Alright, I'm going to fast forward this part. So you guys don't have to sit through me doing the other side. But yeah, I'm just going to put the other side set to the same setting. So, all right, we'll catch up with you guys here in just a minute. And I'm back. All right, sorry for the bit of a jump cut there, but I was an idiot and accidentally pushed the pivot all the way out instead of out just enough for me to move the scale. And I'm not going to sit there and try to put the pivot back into a crossbar lock knife on camera. That is not fun. So I moved everything out of the way, did it the right way. So now we are much, much better on that spring pressure. We got a little more of a oomph on the knife. It closes better. It's got better you know, detent, blade retention. It's just got overall better action. I don't know why I haven't done that recently, or why I haven't done that yet, but I have noticed that if you use one hand, you have to, well, I mean, now that I'm getting used to it, it's fine, but I seem to use it seems to work better if I use both for closing versus just using my thumb. I will say, of everything that I've noticed with the knife, the thumb ramp, if you come at it, you know, sideways, it doesn't really work. So you have to use it almost like a thumb stud and come in at it from kind of like this angle here, where you're up and out with the blade. And doing that in a more fidgety scenario does wreak havoc on your thumb. So it does get to be a little painful. So if you're going to fidget with it, I would say use it for a reverse flick would be probably ideal. Using your thumb will become painful after a time. Outside of that, now we'll get back into the knife itself. Ergonomically, extremely sound. Don't have any complaints on the knife. I did just remove all of the screws. None of the screws were like super Loctited in. They were all machined very well. Even the lock bar has screws, so you can remove the lock bar if you want to. Make it easy to remove that way. I don't know if that's what its intended purposes are, but you can do that. Like I said, the ergonomics on this thing are so good. I remember the first time I really got to handle this knife was at Blade Show last year. And I really liked it then. And it was the, like I said, it was the thumb hole version. The thumb hole version with the liner lock. But this version is, again, just absolutely stellar. Great stuff all around. Can't wait to see how well these do. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for Kansept. Again, look for these sometime towards the end of this year. November is what they say on their website. Links for everything will be down below in my link tree, so be sure to check out Kansept through that. Outside of that, I really appreciate you guys for hanging out with me and putting up with me going through that knife. Hopefully some of y'all enjoyed that. As always, please remember to be kind, be humble, and be EDC. Y'all take care.